of Catherine Potter and Charlie Wyatt in the 20 and the 23 respectively. Lizzie Mentier and Sebastian Corking on row 2, Jared Fox-Whiteley, David Mack on row 3, Charlie Benson and Kian McLeod 7th and 8th. 9th will be Frankie Smedley, Isabella Stanmore-Wilson in 10th, Oliver Watson and Jake Borey 11th and 12th. 13th, Gracie Mitchell will look to recover from that spin in heat number 1. Will line up alongside Jacob Gibbert-Lee. Thomas Potter and Connor Duddy are 15th and 16th respectively. Finlay Fishburn, Jack Thompson, Addison Smith, Max Shields, Jake Borey, Sophie Pawsey, Felix Smedley, William Howard, Josh Cooke, Oliver Green, and in 27th we have Ollie Poole, who came through the field last time in the Seoul Mini Rock. As we watch the front row move their way forward. On the left, Catherine Potter. On the right, Charlie Wyatt in the number 20 and the 23. Charlie there in the 23 sporting his Christmas present, a brand new bright yellow helmet to help me spot him. We like bright colours when we're commentating. It's helpful. Especially in Rotax last year, we had one driver who insisted on wearing a bright yellow suit all season. Absolute dream. So as we watch the cadets line themselves up, it will be a front row of Catherine Potter and alongside Charlie Wyatt. Row 2 is Lizzie Mentier and Seb Corking. And our cadet drivers will run straight down to the National Loop, miss out the chicane for the first lap. Go straight round the National Loop and through the chicane as we have a couple of our marshals just making sure our drivers are in the correct positions. In the midfield there, we've swapped those two around. Just waiting for confirmation that the 23 is in the right place. The rest of the field wait patiently in behind. Like we've had a couple of drivers need to just make sure they are in the right place. We are around about 10th place is all sorted. I think the 73 is trying to get someone's attention. I think he might think he's at least a place further forwards. We've got the 22 of Fox-Whiteley. Should have the 25 of Benson behind him. I think Smedley might have an engine problem as well, just getting that restarted by the start line marshal. I think the 25 of Benson is waiting on the outside of the grid there to get himself into position. And unless he's had a spin on the outlap, should really be between Fox-Whiteley and the 73 of Smedley. I think the whole front inside row is forward by 1 place. The 28 of Gibbert-Lee rolls himself forwards onto the outside. We await Thomas Potter in the number 38, though the 25 of Benson is finally rolled forward, and I think he will find himself slotted on the inside row between the 22 of Fox-Whiteley and the 73 of Frankie Smedley, and then the whole of the inside line will be rolled backwards ever so slightly. The remainder of the grid should then fall into place, hopefully. Potter at the front in the 20 looks back, anxious to get this race underway. So the final few drivers being rolled into position. The 15 of Addison Smith alongside the 18 of Max Shields. Got a couple of Josh Cooke getting himself in. We've got the 44 as well. A couple of drivers towards the rear end of the field just need to get themselves gridded up. And then we've got the 94 of Ollie Poole running in the Soul Mini Rock at the back, and use the power of that kart to come through the whole of the field to take the checkered flag first last time, but we'll start once again from the back as he's not battling it out for the O Plate here. The O Plate going to the winner of the 200 class in our Cadet. So final few drivers getting lined up, the 27 and then the 48 of Max Bory. And then we've got the 94 of Ollie Poole, and then we will very shortly be on our way. Thumbs up from the marshal at the back of the grid. The green flag is up, the green is down, and we're underway. It's a slow start for Corking, and he gets swamped by the row behind him. Then he gets tagged, and they're off onto the grass. We've got at least one off. That's the 22. That's Fox Whiteley across, trimming the turf for us here at Teesside. It's Potter, though, leading from Wyatt. The midfield is wide, and there's at least one more across the grass as Max Shields goes up and over the curb to try and get a move done. It's Thomas Potter that was off in the 38. Onto the grass on the opening couple of corners on the outside of the National Loop as they go down the back straight for the first time. Gracie Mitchell has made a superb move up from 13th and will now run as high as 6th as they go into hairpin number 3. But at the front of the pack, it's Catherine Potter from Charlie Wyatt, David Mack, and then the 25 of Charlie Benson. He's going to come under pressure as well. On the outside there, Mitchell's going to get a run round the outside of Lizzie Mentier. So as they come over the line for the first time, we've got some spinners. And they look like they're caught up with each other, and I don't think they can move on the outside of hairpin number 4. Hopefully we can get those moves out of the way before the pack comes round, but looks like both of those are tagged up. And we've got at least one of them's free, and they're going to both turn round, so they'll be out of the way by the time the leading trio come round the bottom corner. And it's Potter, Wyatt and Mack. They've broken away from Benson. Smedley with a superb opening lap up from 10th or 9th, I think, up to 5th now. Mitchell 6th, Mentier 7th. Behind them, Oliver Watson, Stanmore Wilson, McLeod and Corking, who had a tough opening couple of corners for the number 52. Had a slow start and then got tagged on the rear as they headed down towards the opening corner. So the field a little bit more spread out than what it normally is here on the opening laps at Teesside. I think we've had some problems as there's a yellow flag out, and that's the 33 of Oliver Watson, and he doesn't look like he's in a good way. Looks like he could be in a little bit of a pain. He certainly had some contact there in the number 33, and he drops away from 8th place. The lead trio, though, continue to battle it out. Potter, Wyatt and Mack. Benson, Smedley. Mitchell is 6th. There she is, coming under pressure from Smedley and Lizzie Mentier. Smedley in the 73. Looks to be running a 200 for the first time. Or is he? But he's well up on the pack as he comes through. So it's Smedley is up to 6th, Mentier in 7th, Stanmore Wilson 8th, McLeod 9th, Whiteley 10th, Poole up to 11th already on the mini rock. In the number 94, as Charlie Wyatt all over the back of Catherine Potter, who until now has led every lap of cadets from qualifying on pole position and winning Heat 1 from flag to checker at the end. David Mack, though, right up on the back of this battle. Charlie Wyatt, always there or thereabouts in our cadet class. We'll look to cut to the inside. Mack, though, all over the back, and Mack looks like he's got a lot of pace in that number 16 kart in heat number 2. Looks like he's got it dialed in, and he's looking to make his way past the number 23 of Charlie Wyatt. Mentier has moved back up to 6th with Smedley down to 7th. Ollie Poole, fastest lap of the race, as you'd expect with that mini rock number 94, is up to 11th already. We are beyond half race distance already, and it is Catherine Potter at the head of the field from Charlie Wyatt. Wyatt tries a different line round the outside, see if he can make something work for him in that number 23. They will very soon be catching up onto one of our back markers. I think it was one of the drivers that was involved in that first lap spin, with the 5 and the 48 getting tied up with each other. so they will be round shortly, and with a back marker in play, Wyatt will look to go to the inside. I think he thought about it there into that corner, had to back out in the end. Potter will go to the inside of hairpin number 3, hairpin number 2. Back marker moves out of the way, but Charlie Benson is closing in on the back of this pack as the front 3 battle it out with each other. We've got a cart stopped on the outside of hairpin number 4 with the drivers what we're coming up to now, so won't be any overtaking opportunities on the way out. There's the yellow flag. It's the 3 of Josh Cooke stationary on the outside of hairpin number 4. Looks like the engine on that cart has stopped and he is going to be out of the race. As we have had a change for the lead as we watch Josh Cooke stationary on the outside, and for the first time Catherine Potter's not at the front of Cadets. It's the 23 of Charlie Wyatt leading us over the line. So Wyatt, Potter and Mack still the front 3. Charlie Benson though in the 25, getting increasingly interested in this battle for the lead and closing in with every lap, but we've got a lap and a half. Potter moves to the inside, gets the move done before they go round South Bank and retakes the lead with just over 1 lap remaining. And they could possibly catch up with another battle in front of them as they come to see the last lap board. They will come over the line. Benson now almost onto the back of that pack, so it's Wyatt all over the back of Potter. So Potter leads, Wyatt, Mack, Benson, Mitchell up to 5th, Ollie Paul 6th this time in the mini rock. Can't get right all the way up to the lead like he did last time, and leaves these at the front to battle it out. Wyatt goes to the inside of hairpin 2 and Charlie Wyatt takes the lead with half a lap remaining, goes to the inside to try and defend it. Catherine Potter will try to go right round the outside. She does, keeps the foot in and stays there, and foot right round the outside. There's the back markers in the way, and it's David Mack who looks like he's going to come out of this in the front. He's threaded the eye of the needle past the back markers, and now he runs Charlie Wyatt very tight to the inside. Mack and Wyatt are caught up on each other. Wyatt's going to come through. David Mack takes the victory though in Cadet for the first time, sees the checkered flag for the first time, and it's Mack, Wyatt, Potter and Benson. Mack didn't want to give that one up at all towards the end. Charlie Wyatt puts his hand up. Not sure he's overly impressed with how defensive David Mack was on the way out of that corner, but once David Mack had got himself to the front, I don't think he wanted to give that one up at all. As we catch a replay on screen of the final lap, Wyatt goes to the inside of the hairpin number 2. Down the back straight they go, and it's for every intent and purposes, that was Catherine Potter's race. Then they actually tag a little bit as they go round the corner, and it opens the door for David Mack. So Charlie Wyatt tagged the rear corner of Catherine Potter as they went round that corner. It opened the door for Mack. Mack then runs Charlie Wyatt incredibly close to the edge of the track. Those two bang into each other on numerous occasions, but David Mack takes the checkered flag and picks up the win in heat number 2. As all of our drivers find their way off the track, we will await the recovery quad to collect the number 3 of Josh Cooke. Last few drivers coming off the circuit. Cooke trying to get his engine started at that bottom end. If he can't, we might require some assistance to get that number 3 car on the back, although it looks like the marshal has done a grand job getting that cart moving. And now once he's back on the tarmac, he is running under his own steam, and the number 3 of Josh Cooke will make his way back, as we have a slight issue for the 73 of Frankie Smedley getting up and over the weighbridge. A little bit wide and missed the entrance. There's the last few carts coming over. The 88 of Stanmore Wilson turned 8 years old at the final round of 2019. One of our youngest drivers in the class. Cadets running from the year of the 8th birthday into the year of your 12th birthday. So a big spread of ages for our drivers. But at the front of this one, it was the number 16 of David Mack in what was an